Hi guys, welcome to my vinyl collection from 2024. This is everything that I have collected within this past year. Yeah, I sort of went crazy on the vinyls that I got this year because I think I just got comfortable spending more money, but I want to tone it down next year, so hopefully that collection isn't that big. I want to say like 40 or something like that beforehand. Now I think I have like 75. So just a little bit shy of doubling my collection. I hope you guys like this video. Yeah, let's get into it. So first off, we have the 1975, A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships. I didn't get this for a long time because I just wasn't super obsessed with this album. I loved the singles and stuff a lot, but I just didn't really like the in-between songs that much, like Couldn't Be More in Love, Surrounded by Heads and Bodies, as much as I liked Love It If We Made It, Two Time, Give Yourself a Try, It's Not Living If It's Not With You, and I Like America and America Likes Me. Those are the songs I loved. And so I couldn't really justify buying it, or I wasn't obsessed with the rest of it either. But I gave this album another shot, I'd say a couple months ago, and I absolutely sort of kind of fell in love with it. Like, I just thought it was so good, and I really liked the more like ambient sounds in some of these songs, and I just liked the overall sort of message of the album, and I felt like I got it a lot more than I did when I first listened to this album, which makes sense because I was like only 16 then, and I think I have a lot more understanding of the internet and like my relationship with it, and so yeah, I just connected with this more. My favorite off of this is either Love It If We Made It or I Like America and America Likes Me. Also, I really love how political some of their songs are on this album, and that's also like what really drew me to this. So yeah. Next we have Renaissance by Beyonce. This album is a future classic in my opinion. I think she absolutely kills this like house disco really like dance genre inspired record. I think yeah, it's so good. Like, it's just a good house album in general, and I think like it's obviously very pop still, like it's not super, it's just more so inspired by house and disco, and I feel like more so leans into the disco part, but yeah, I think that this album is so good, and it's just banger after banger, and it's really what like got me into Beyonce. If I'm being completely honest, like I'd always like listen to like her hits growing up and stuff like that, but I was never like a big fan of her except for like the hits, and this album really like got me into her as an artist, I think. Yeah, and it came with these cool things in this lyric booklet that's really nice with these concept images, and my favorite off of this is Virgo's Groove. Okay, next we have Bauhaus in the Flat Field. This is like one of my only like goth rock albums that I own, but it's like sort of what got me into the genre. It's not like I know that many albums from the genre, but it's one of my favorites. And I think I really like how this is like it's more dramatic. It's also more like rock, as compared to like other goth / pop post-punk songs, and it's also, I feel like, more metal influence than post-punk typically is. I don't quote me on that, it's just sort of slightly my understanding. Yeah, I think this album is super awesome. I think that Peter Murphy, like he performs, is just so cool, and I can like always admire that about someone, like a performer in general. My favorite off of this is Double Dare. Next we have Caroline Polachek, Pang. I don't like it as much as Desire, but it's still really good. And it's definitely a different vibe from Desire, but it's still very much like this like the same artist and stuff like that. Like, it's something crazy in its differences. It feels more scaled back and more focused on like a minimalist pop route than Desire does, and like less explorative, but it's still really good, and her vocal ability is absolutely amazing. I feel like it shines here more than it does on Desire. And yeah, my favorite off of this is Hey Big Eyes. Next we have Brat by Charlie XCX. Of course I had to have this. I mean, like, who do you think I am? Like, I have basically all of her vinyls now, and I bought like 3 last year. And so, I was quick to pre-order this. Thank you to the person who let me in 360 Brat when they did, because like, I would not have gotten this picture disc of the 360 Brat exclusive, okay? And I'm incredibly grateful for it because it's worth so much money now. I'm so happy about finally owning it. And I feel like I don't really ever own like rare pressings like this. So it's just sort of nice to have one in my collection. Yeah, so, and plus I would like, this is like one of the albums like I like feel safe pre-ordering, because half the time like I don't like pre-ordering albums because I like don't know if I like them. Like, I feel like half the time I get into an artist and then like they're like half their discography I don't like, or it's like whatever. But Charlie is my girl and she does not let me down. There's only like one album that I don't like by her, so yeah. So I pre-ordered this, and I'm so happy I have it. And the picture disc is absolutely gorgeous. Both sides are. And I'm so insanely proud of her and how she's blown up because of this album. Like, she truly deserves it. And I'm like, it's so amazing. Like, it's like, imagine like everyone like getting into something that like you're freaking obsessed, like your number one obsession, like everyone getting into, like that was that for me. And I like, oh my god, like it's so amazing. I wasn't even like an OG Angel, like I literally joined in Crash, but like it was still so amazing to see. And my favorite of this is Sympathy is a Knife. Couple ones I'm going to try to go very fast. So this is Cara Carabanillo, Time and Place. I love the indie rock and like the dreamy, more upbeat fusion that they do on this album. And my favorite on this is probably Fly Away or Make Believe. Next we have Le Tigre. This is like a dance punk record from the 1990s from the Riot Grrrl movement, which I love, and I think is honestly, I think it was a great movement. Obviously there are some qualms and bad like parts of the movement or whatever, but overall I think it was really great. And my favorite off of this is Decepticon. Next we have Madonna, Ray of Light. I recently got into Madonna this year, and this is my favorite album from her that I've listened to. This is absolutely no skips on it, and my favorite is Ray of Light, which is one of my favorite songs ever. Next we have PJ Harvey, Rid of Me. This was one of the albums that really got me through a tough time this year, and yeah, I think the lyrics on this are so relatable and just really makes you feel emotional, but like the instrumentation is so heavy and it just goes so hard. And yeah, I love this album so much. It's probably one of my favorites of all time now. Yeah, and I love PJ Harvey. My favorite of this is, honestly, it's very hard for me to choose, but if I did have to choose, it'd probably be Rid of Me, the title track. Yeah, also ignore the dust you see in any of these videos, okay? I didn't realize how dusty some of these were until I'm now watching these back, so sorry about that. Next we have Loves. I might not be pronouncing that right. 7-inch holiday record. This is the one with Dodie, and honestly I forgot the other song that's on here. But yeah, this is one of them because she released 2 off of this EP that she made for the holidays. My favorite off of that is Love to Keep Me Warm. The next we have Jar of Flies by Alice in Chains. I think it's really good, and I like that it's more like acoustic or whatever. And this tricolor is so gorgeous, and I don't have anything like it in my collection, so that's also why I really wanted this. And I think the back of the vinyl and the center of the record are really cool. My favorite for this is probably Rotten Apple. Next we have Blue Rev by Always. This is like one of my favorite albums ever, definitely of the 2020s. I just think that like I love the instrumentation on this. It's very poppy, but it's also like rock infused and sort of messy at times, and that's what I really like about it. I like some of their other stuff, but just not as much as I do that album. My favorite off of this is After the Earthquake, which is like my most played song of 2022 or 2023. Next we have Cowboy Carter by Beyonce. This was a pre-order, and honestly, when the standard version came out, I was pissed because it was like the box set, like the Renaissance one was. And I really wanted that, but whatever. This is what I have, and I like the blue disc, so my favorite for that is Riverdance. Next we have True Romance by Charli XCX. This album's so underrated in my opinion. I think it's so good, and it's very 2014, but in a good way. Like, it's not cringe or like anything like that. It's still fun, even though it's like definitely 2014. Here off of this is Grins. Next we have Mazzy Star, So Tonight That I Might See. This is like also probably one of my favorite albums ever, and this pressing is absolutely gorgeous. I wanted it so badly, and when I saw that Vertigo Vinyls was repressing it, I knew I wanted it so badly. I asked for it for my birthday from one of my friends, and she pre-ordered it, and yeah, I'm so incredibly happy to own this. This album is so good. If you like dream pop, jangle type stuff, you'll love this album. Favorite of this is Blue Light. Next we have Peripheral Vision by Turnover. I vividly remember my sister trying to put me on Turnover for like years in like middle school, sort of, and I liked some of their music, but I just never fully got into them like that until I listened to this album. Somehow I can't even remember how I like listened to this, but it just really clicked with me. And yeah, I really wanted this on vinyl, and Target was having a buy 2 get 1 free for vinyl, and I saw they had this, and I was like, hell yeah, like why not? I really like this orange pressing. It's really cool. They have a lot cooler pressings for this album, but this is what they had at Target. So off of this is probably Cutting My Fingers Off. Next we have Carrie and Lowell by Sufjan Stevens. This is my only Sufjan Stevens record, but I want to change that in 2025. I really want Illinois on vinyl. Michigan's also really good. But yeah, this album is absolutely heartbreaking. I remember listening to fully looking at the lyrics for the first time, and I was just bawling my eyes out. It's truly a devastating record, but it's so beautiful. And I honestly can't choose a favorite of this because they're all really good. Next we have Currents by Tame Impala. This I sort of got because of this nostalgia attached with this album. I also remember my sister showing me them in middle school, Specifically, I remember her playing The Less I Know The Better all the time, and I really liked that song. And then I got into this album in like high school, and I just associate being in high school with this album. And so I guess I just wanted to have this so I could like commemorate that experience, I guess. Even though high school is not the best time. I like what's it called? The thing that I just showed you. I really like that. Yeah, my favorite off of this is probably Because I'm a Man. Next we have Kali Uchis Orquídeas. Yeah, this is my second Spanish album, or like album that's in Spanish, which is sort of crazy because I don't know Spanish like that. I am taking Spanish classes, but I definitely don't know that much. But yeah, this album is really good. I like the like genres that she explores on here. I think it's really cool. The reggaeton tracks are absolute bangers. And this is the indie exclusive on the silver pressing, and my favorite is Movete. Next we have Blonde by Frank Ocean. This is a bootleg, obviously, from Vertigo Vinyls. I mean, it would look very different if it wasn't a bootleg, but I didn't care. I just wanted this album on vinyl because this album means so much to me and has always been, like, since high school. I've just absolutely adored it and has a lot of personal sentiment for me. And I really like the bootleg. I like the orange pressing and the gray that you're seeing now. I think it looks really cool, and I like that they're like two different colors, and both discs aren't just the same color, and they're also like sort of marbled. I feel like it's probably recycled like materials or whatever that they used for this bootleg. But yeah, this album's a classic. Who doesn't love this album? My favorite is Skyline 2. Next we have Live Through This by Hole. The first time I listened to this, I was like, yeah, this is good. But then as I was listening to it more, I was like, wow, yeah, this album is really good. And I just think like the struggles that she talks about on here, you really resonate with. And I think that there's like, you know, it as like a woman, like I can like really sympathize with her a lot. And this pressing is absolutely gorgeous. I love the pink transparent, and it looks so good on my new white slip mat. This album is underrated, I think, for like in terms of like how good it is. My favorite on this is, that's hard actually, Miss World, that's my favorite. Next we have Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. This is a classic, obviously. This is like the classic of classics, besides like the Beatles. Yeah, I think this is like the most pressed vinyl in the world. I sort of had to have it, and like it's good, like it's popular for a reason. Like it's a good album. I don't like love it like that, but I still think it's good. Yeah, and I like the gold exclusive from Target, which is what this is. And yeah, my favorite on this is probably You Make Loving Fun or Secondhand News. Next we have Treasure by Cocteau Twins. These next 3 vinyls, including this one, I got for Christmas, and this one was for my sister. I feel like I finally have a good amount of Cocteau Twins records in my vinyl collection, which I have been wanting for so long because they're like one of my favorite bands ever. Yeah, this is probably like my 3rd favorite album from them. Yeah, this isn't as good as the other 2 in my opinion, obviously, but I still think this album is really good, and I still enjoy it, and they have some of my favorite songs on here. My favorite's probably Lorelei. I don't know. It's like I'm having trouble remembering the track list. Okay, next is Dirt by Alice in Chains. This is the 30th anniversary yellow opaque pressing, and I think it looks so good. I like that it's like a pale yellow. I think it's really pretty. And I love the back of this vinyl. I think it looks so cool. I like this more than the Nirvana albums, but I think Nirvana's more consistent. This album's really good. I like that it's like more metal infused compared to other grunge bands and albums. Yeah, my favorite off of this is Rooster. And also, I love Lance Staley so much. I think he's so talented. Next is Goo by Sonic Youth. As you can see, I love 90s music. I think this album, it's like underrated. Like I feel like it's not very popular in like mainstream, if that makes sense. I mean, it's popular, especially for an alternative album. I don't know. I think you get what I'm saying though, if you like know this album. The album artwork is so cool. I love Sonic Youth. They're probably one of my favorite bands from the 90s. I think their sound is so cool. I love how messy it is, and I think they're just so different compared to a lot of bands out there, which obviously is what like their purpose was and what they were sort of going for. This is my favorite album from them, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't have it on vinyl. My favorite off of this is probably Tunic, I think. Yeah. Next, we have Crash by Charlie XCX. I really held off on getting this one. I also really wanted it signed because when I went to the Crash tour, they were selling them signed, but I didn't buy it because I wanted to save money. And I deeply regretted it ever since then. So I needed to buy it signed, and so I did. Yeah, the signature has seen better days. I've honestly thought about going over it in Sharpie, but alas, I haven't. My favorite off of this is Constant Repeat. Next, we have Hounds of Love by Kate Bush. I prefer The Dreaming, but I still really do enjoy this album. There are some absolutely stunning songs on here. My favorite, The Big Sky, and also Jig of Life. Those songs are absolutely amazing. And of course, Running Up That Hill is really good too. I remember listening to that in sophomore year of high school. And next we have Kendrick Lamar, Tiffany and Butterfly. This is just like a classic. Like, what can I say about this album that hasn't been said 50 million times? Yeah, I love Kendrick. I really do. I want more of his stuff on vinyl. I had a really big rap phase and I'm like out of it now, and so I'm like not very motivated to get them on vinyl. My favorite off of this is Wesley's Theory. Next we have Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures. I think it's really good, like everybody else does. Yeah, I still really like the packaging for it. I love how simplistic it is. Fits the overall mood of the album pretty well. Yeah, my favorite of this is She's Lost Control. And also, like, I really liked this album because I really, like, after, like, hearing about, like, Ian Curtis's story, it was just sort of, like, crazy. And it just, I don't know, it really, like, struck a chord with me. And it was just honestly devastating. Yeah. Next, we have Death Grips, The Money Store. This is one of my favorite albums ever. In all honesty, I love how abrasive it is. I love MC Rod's. I love his aggressive delivery, and I love Zach Hill's production. They are absolutely amazing and insane and just pull off their sound incredibly well. Yeah, my favorite of this is probably Hacker. But it's like sort of hard for me to choose a favorite on this. Next we have Kalila, Take Me Apart. And fun fact, when I was filming this, I literally thought I lost the record somehow. Like I just had the sleeve, and then I realized it was literally underneath the sleeve. But yeah, Kalila is so underrated. You all need to check her out if you haven't already. She makes like R&B, EDM infused stuff, and it's so good. My favorite of this is probably Take Me Apart or Waitin'. Next we have Deftones, Around the Fur. Yeah, I love Deftones. They're probably one of my favorite bands. I'm seeing them in April this year, and I'm so freaking excited. I've been wanting to see them for like 2 years, and I've really been waiting for this. Yeah, I don't like this as much as White Pony, but it's still really good. And my favorite is Mascara. Next we have White Pony, their best album. This album is absolutely just banger after banger. It's so good. Yeah, I love this album. I don't really have much to say. I just love it. My favorite is Passenger, and I also really like RX Queen, Knife Party. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now somehow. Felicitera. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but next we have Crystal Castles, self-titled. I was obsessed with this album when I was studying abroad in Berlin. And so I wanted to get this album to commemorate that experience.
I guess. And also just because I really do love this album. I think it's so good, and I love this pressing so much. It is so good. I'm pretty sure it's a bootleg from Vertigo Vinyls. The smash is absolutely insane, and my favorite is Alice Practice. Next we have Disintegration by The Cure. Again, there's not much I can say about this album that hasn't been said before, but I love this album. I love like the dreamier sort of aesthetic they're going for, and the more like classical instrumentation they use, and the packaging for this album is stunning. Like, it's so good. Yeah, my favorite off of this is probably Lullaby. Next we have Nirvana In Utero, also a classic. This is my favorite Nirvana album that I've listened to. I haven't listened to Bleach fully yet, but this is my favorite one I've listened to. I think I've just heard too much of Nevermind, like, too many times. Like, it's, yeah. But this album is so good. And my favorite is probably Scentless Apprentice. I think that's what it is. And then next we have One Direction 4. I got this like a week before Liam Payne died. I'm so serious. It was really crazy. Yeah, this is their best album. I love this album so much. Banger after banger. And my childhood, sort of, kinda. My favorite of this is Stockholm Syndrome. Next we have Wish by The Cure. This is the 30th anniversary edition with a picture disc. The thing that's on the record player right now usually is in the middle, which is why it's white. Yeah, if you've seen the Wish album cover, you know what I'm talking about. And then the back is also the same. But yeah, I love the picture disc so much. It looks so good. And I like how they like worked it into the album art. And this album is so, like, it's underrated. Like, for The Cure, like, this album is so, like, this album is amazing. I love that they like sort of blend their sounds here, and my favorite is High. Next we have Bluebell Knoll by Cocteau Twins. This is my second favorite album by them. It sort of feels like Heaven or Las Vegas, just maybe less as fleshed out and more of a dreamier, more toned down version of Heaven or Las Vegas, which is sometimes people's vibe. I just prefer Heaven or Las Vegas, but this album is still really good, hence why I have it on vinyl. If you're off of this, is Sucking the Mendler. Next we have Pierce the Veil, Collide with the Sky. I mostly got this because I love this pressing so much. I love the blue center and how it like bleeds into the green. I think it looks really cool, and is an Urban Outfitters exclusive. And I had money from Christmas, as in like 2023 Christmas, and I had a really big Pierce the Veil phase in 2022, so I sort of wanted to get this, and I saw them in concert, so I wanted to get it also because of that. My favorite off of that is Hell Above. Next we have JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown, Scaring the Hoes. I don't have JPEG's recent record because I didn't listen to it until recently, but when I first listened to it I was like, eh. But then like as I listened to it more, it really started to grow on me. But so I sort of want that too, but I like this record more. I love the purple disc. I think it looks so cool. And my favorite off of that is Kingdom Hearts Key. Okay, I was gonna do the outro of this video like I did the rest of this video of like I'm doing something and this, like, I just have like a voiceover in the background, but that's obviously not what I'm doing because I could not figure out what to put in the background for the life of me for the video. So we're just gonna do it like this. I hope you enjoyed the video. I do these like yearly of like me updating my vinyl collection, so if you want to see more of that, I mean, you'll wait a year but you can still see it if you want. I probably won't have as much next time because I really plan on slowing down my vinyl record collection, like I was saying in the beginning, just because I feel like I'm spending probably too much money on it, and not because like it's one of my favorite albums. Definitely have enough for probably a, you know, a collective what I collected sort of thing. But I also upload other content. I also upload travel sort of like recap things And I'm going on a trip this summer, so that'll be out, especially because I'm really excited for it, and it's gonna be really fun. And it's like a cool place. I've been to one of them before. We're going 2 different places. Maybe I'll upload some other content too, because I like sort of kind of want to do that. I'm not like I'm not trying to become an influencer or anything. I just think that like uploading to YouTube's fun, and like making these videos are like fun, and I like sharing things that I like with people and stuff. So yeah, I mean, subscribe if you want to. Yeah, bye.